What's going on? The theAPEcoach from Six-Pack Gaming, where we bring you the best play-to-earn NFT games and new Metaverse projects. Today, we have a fire new project. As you can see here, it's got dinos, it's got an RPG element, you've got basketball, a whole bunch of dope stuff. So we're going to be diving all into it. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe, and got notifications turned on, and let's dive right into this. All right, so there was the little cinematic trailer, the sneak peek of Chibi Dinos. I'm super pumped about this. In addition to that, we are going to be announcing the 5 lucky winners from the last video that we are going to be splitting the 50 USDT between. So make sure you're staying tuned to find out if you were one of the lucky winners. Now, let's talk about Chibi Dinos. As you can see, the artwork is looking fire here. Here's the little dinos, and there's these little accessories and stuff. So you can see the dino itself, and then it's got like these fire shades, it's got the bead necklace, all that cool stuff, and you can see a bunch of the different designs. The site, like the artwork is amazing, the site is really cool. I like how interactive it is as you slide through this. It all scrolls really well. And actually, if you check out the site on mobile, it is very, very well designed for mobile as well. Anyways, had a really, really good call with the team from this project. A lot of guys actually from Canada, so very local to myself and our co-founder, as well as North America. Some very great track records with the team with previous NFT projects and projects in the blockchain space. Some incredible advisors and backers, some pro NBA player partners, and all that good stuff. So this thing has a lot of stuff going for it, and it really has a unique gameplay element to it. There's multiple different game modes that are going to be coming out with this, in addition to a thing that we're going to talk about here in a second. Is called Primal Pick'em, and it's essentially a way that you can bet on what's going to happen in live NBA games, and you can earn rewards based on how well you can predict the outcomes of certain scenarios and certain games and stuff like that. So very, very cool stuff. Lots of different things to unpack here, so let's dive into it. Each Chibi grants its owners access to the Chibi universe, including an expansive play-to-earn game, exclusive Chibi content, a unique secondary market, and one-of-a-kind real-world experiences. So one of the things very recently was, there was an event going on in Vegas. I forget what it was. But if you were a Chibi Dino holder, they put out an announcement in the Discord, and they're like, hey, if you're in the area, come check out this show completely free. Just show them that you are an owner of a Chibi Dino, and you get right in. So really, really cool to see that they're already giving some real world utility and some special experiences to go along with the NFTs before the game is even released. The Chibiverse Planet Hoop, the home planet of Chibi Dinos, is a strange and distant place where a basketball-like game is at the center of the society. Chibi Dinos live, eat, and breathe this now ancient activity of Primal Hoop. Countless generations ago, before the formation of the Unity and the creation of the Primal Hoop games, a catastrophic incident destroyed Planet Hoop's sacred orb and catapulted Chibi Dino society onto a new path. Remnants of the orb and cargo from a mysterious ship scattered across Planet Hoop after the incident, and for generations, Chibis have scoured the surfaces of the enormous planet in the hopes that they can find a moon shard or a rare piece of gear to help them during their Primal Hoop rituals. Although the past has faded away from many Chibis, there are still those with a yearning to adventure out beyond the confines of society to search for these ancient relics in the hopes that they can score big or to develop new skills and eventually achieve legendary Chibi status. So this is really cool. This is like some lore to kind of like set the background, because one of the things that's coming with this is a comic book to go along with these NFTs, in addition to their IRL NBA prediction game, as well as their arcade style basketball game and their adventure RPG game. So there's going to be basically 3 different games and a comic, all kind of geared towards these NFTs and the Chibiverse, which is very cool. Lots of utility, lots of different use cases, and a lot of just like unique features to this that you don't see in really any other projects. So In addition to the dinos themselves, you can see they're all wearing different jerseys, and these are all teams. There's 10 different teams. You can see there's extinct eaters, there's crazy carnivores, Jurassic jumpers, honest herbivores, Cretaceous creatures, 10 different teams, and those will kind of play into providing certain boosts and stuff based on how you formalize your teams. So they have this GameOn, which is an AI technology, and so this is how this works. So Chibi Dinos created this predictive game that can be played while watching your favorite basketball game. So we're talking like real NBA and WNBA games. You'll earn rewards, achievements, and special items based on correct guesses that you make during live games in all of these leagues. And these rewards will feed back into your daily lives and the play to earn games. Okay, and then there's also this infinite world, which is who they're working with to help develop their play to earn gaming modes, which are going to be Primal Hoop and Chibi Adventures. Okay, so one is an arcade style basketball game, this Primal Hoop, and the other is more of an adventure RPG game where you're going to level up your chibis, you're going to loot unique gear and NFTs and items and just lots of cool stuff like that. So we'll get into that in just a second here. There are going to be 2 tokens here, so a dual token economy similar to what we've seen a lot of other games of this nature. So there's the Hoop token, which is the governance token. We'll go over this a little more in the white paper. And then the swag token, which is your main earnings and utility token that's going to be used for many things in the game. Okay. And here's just a breakdown of some of the things. So you're going to be able to name your dinos. You're going to be able to write their backstory, give them a bio. You're going to be able to hatch chibi eggs. You're going to be able to purchase gear in the secondary market, and there's going to be yield farming opportunities. Here is the roadmap. So they've got the PJ Washington partnership launch. So this is already underway. PJ Washington plays for the Hornets, is an NBA player, and they actually just did a thing on Spotify with them earlier today. It was when was this? Yeah, like about 11-12 hours ago. So they were talking about their prediction game, which is their Primal Pick'em. Okay, and really cool to see that they have these NBA partnerships with this basketball style game. And you can check out their Instagram and stuff. They're already doing a social event on their Instagram. If you check out their stories, they're doing a 64 dino bracket where you can vote on your favorite dinos every day until there is one winner standing, and they get to be animated and implemented into a lot of the storylines and all that sort of stuff. But here's like an example. You can vote on Chibisaurus Rex here or Dino F54D2. I think Chibisaurus Rex takes it here just with the better name and a little bit better coloring and all that. But yeah, you guys can check that out on their Instagram stories every day and place your votes for yourselves. We have the PJ Washington partnership. We've got the Primal Pick'em launch. This is the game that we just talked about, where you get to basically make your predictions on live games. We've got the Primal Hoop trailer reveal, which we just showed in the beginning of this. There's the Terrence Mann partnerships, another NBA player. We've got Hoop token launch coming up in, I believe, just a few weeks here. It was initially supposed to be, I believe, in April, but with the essentially crash of the market, just the bear market that we've been in, they've pushed things back to mid-June is when they're planning on launching Hoop, which is the governance token. There's going to be a comic book release then, and then the Primal Hoop beta launch, which is the arcade basketball game, and then the Primal Hoop public launch. In addition to all the other cool features we've already touched on, they've got a great list of partners here as well, including Master Ventures, which was one of the things that kind of first drew me to this project initially. If you don't know, Master Ventures is owned by Kyle Chasse, a billionaire in the crypto space and probably one of the biggest sort of venture capital firms, other than like Animoca Brands, in the crypto gaming and NFT metaverse space. And so that was something that I really liked to see, and I talked with the team as well from the project, and they talked about how Master Ventures has helped out with advising the project and all that. So it's always great to meet the teams and interact with the teams, but also the support that they have behind the project, because you can have the best people in the world for building a game, but if it doesn't have the backers and the support, it's never going to come to fruition. So moving on from the partners to the team, or as they have it here, the Unity. Chibi Dinos are protected and championed by the Unity, a group of highly skilled, motivated, and driven experts. Okay, so here's the core team here, and I actually got on a call with a bunch of the guys from the team here. Great conversation with them, very transparent and informative with what their plans are, where exactly they are in their development stages and everything. So just all around great communications with them. We talked with Shadi, we talked with Jeremy, we talked with Chad, we talked with, I don't know, at least a half a dozen of these guys, if not all of them, on the call, as well as ongoing communications. So this is a project that I've really kind of sunk my teeth into already, and I'm really excited with the caliber of the team, the caliber of the backers, and just the scope of the project in general. There's so many different facets to the variety of gameplay they have at the bottom here. Is really nice. If people are newer to the NFT space, they have what is an NFT, digital asset that no one can forge, and then they have a little explainer video as well for beginners kind of getting into the space. So it's really nice to see that they're kind of making sure everyone is as informed as possible. How do I set up a MetaMask? How do I buy an NFT on OpenSea? They're doing the baby steps that a lot of projects often overlook. And if your goal is not only to get people that are like deep in the crypto space, but also those that are just traditional gamers and enthusiasts, people who enjoy basketball and that sort of thing, if your goal is to try to introduce them to the game and get them into the ecosystem, you have to step them into it. Right now, let's go through the white paper. We're not going to go through everything in here because there's a lot to go over, and so we're just going to kind of like highlight the most important aspects of this, and you guys can read through everything at your own sort of pace if you feel you want to dig into stuff a little bit more here. But the play to earn opportunities include competing in the Primal Hoop basketball game, competing in in-game challenges, farming and exchanging swag tokens, hatching and selling Chibi Dinos, selling gear, renting your Chibi Dinos for the draft, staking a legendary Chibi Dino to run a boot camp. This is a very cool concept that we'll talk about in just a minute here. And then participating in hoop token governance and staking. So the first game is the Predictive Game. This is the Primal Pick'em, and here's just kind of like a blurb about it. The Predictor game is a first of its kind sports predictor leveraging the Chibi Dino's NFTs. So as long as you hold one of the NFTs, you're going to be able to place predictions on NBA games, WNBA games, and other leagues of that nature. And then players will compete against each other to climb up the leaderboards, and those that are able to get the best predictions and work their way to the top of the leaderboard will get exclusive rewards, bragging rights, and level up to add value to their Chibi Dinos. So they'll actually be able to level up your Chibi Dinos by playing the Primal Pick'em game. And then we move on to the Primal Hoop, which is a basketball and adventure game. The Chibi Dinos are able to perform incredible feats on the court. The gameplay will include simple move structures with the ability to pass, steal, shoot, block, and perform special moves. So you're actually going to have control over these dinos and be able to interact with them. It's not just going to be one of these games where you click play, or you play a card and it affects them. You're going to actually be able to control these guys and play a basketball game, which is amazing to see. Compete in basketball games of 1v1 or in teams of 3. You may have up to 2 dinos on their bench. Games of Primal Hoop are either score-based or time-based, with the highest scoring team being awarded the victory. Okay, playing with a consistent roster of Chibi Dinos will allow you to increase your team's level. Team levels can range from 0 to 100 and build as you complete games and your roster. Team levels offer progression towards unlocking tokens, GULP potions to replenish bench Chibi Dinos, and occasionally gear. So there's going to be additional things to this, not just getting experience to power up your guys. You're going to be able to get GULP potions, which is a consumable item, another NFT that we'll get to in a sec, as well as some gear, which are additional NFTs that can provide, just cool looks to your dinos. And I believe they also carry some sort of bonus traits and things like that too. There are different stats that the dinos have, as well as an IQ rating. And if you check out on OpenSea, we can take a look at their collection, just to give you an idea of what the dinos look like and this, the different traits and things that you can see right now. So the floor price here is 0.14. There's 10,000, and I believe the initial sale of these sold out in like half an hour or something like that, so they went really quick. But the floor price is actually a really decent price right now. I believe it's one of the lowest it's been, just with the whole pullback in the market. And I mean, in terms of dollar value, in terms of like ETH, they were obviously cheaper at mint, they were less ETH, but because the price of ETH has dropped, the actual dollar value, if you're getting in now, is pretty low comparative to other times that people might have got into this. So 0.14, I believe that's about $280 US is the floor here. And you can see they have different accessories, different eyes, eyewear, hair, the dino's body, the jersey. So again, there's the 10 different teams. We'll go over what those mean in a second here. And then if you check out the boost, this is where it shows the IQ. Okay, so this guy has a 59 IQ, which I believe is actually pretty high. I think that's higher than any of the dinos that I have. And then let's check out another one here real quick. I don't know why I went. Oh, someone just bought that one I was going to look at. So there you go. They're selling that quickly. Okay, and now this guy, he is a 44 IQ. Okay, so not as big brain as this guy over here. So this guy might be a little bit better of a pickup. I kind of like the unique background and stuff too. Like, this guy looks pretty dope, compared to this guy. This guy's pretty plain Jane in my opinion, but hey, what do I know, right? Those are kind of what the dinos look like, some of their traits and that sort of thing. Another important element here is there is a stamina bar, and it will reduce when the Chibi Dino plays the game, forcing the most used Chibi to slow down and rest. And now here's where the teams and stuff come into play. So teams made of dinos wearing the same jersey from the 10 core teams will experience slightly faster growth of their team level. So if you have 3 all from the crustaceous creatures, that's going to help them level up faster because they're all part of the same team. The highest ranking core team at the end of each season will be eligible for rewards and potential access to unique tournaments. So if you're part of, like, the winning team, whatever that may be, maybe it's Jurassic Jumpers or whatever, and your guys are part of that, you're going to get some bonus rewards and things like that. In addition to, owning your own teams, being able to play with those, there is going to be a draft, which is essentially the ability to rent with a profit split. It's very similar to, scholarship programs or rental programs in other games like, Pegaxi and things like that, or Cyball. You're going to be able to rent players and play the game without having to, front the costs of buying the team yourselves. It's just you're going to be splitting the profits with the owners of those dinos. There are also going to be tournaments. Okay, so there's going to be seasons and tournaments with this, which is really cool. And it says at the conclusion of each season, there'll be a 14-day playoff tournament where the stakes are high and the rewards are great. Players that compete in playoff tournaments are eligible to receive hoop token rewards, which is their governance token based on their performance, a shot at a large rewards pool for finalists, and glory in the form of unique titles. So really cool to see them doing this sort of playoff series at the end of each season. Each season is going to last 10 weeks as well. So you're gonna have 10 weeks of regular season play and then a 2-week playoff period. So the whole season and playoffs is going to last 12 weeks. And then we have the adventure mode, which is really cool. It's a really unique aspect to add into the game and just kind of like expand it entirely, right? So mode 2 will allow players to set out on a quest to learn more about the world of Planet Hoop, all while leveling up and improving their individual Chibi Dinos. The adventure story and exploration offered in this mode will be significantly different from the arcade basketball action of the 3v3 game, but works in unison to flesh out everything from lore to new mechanics. In this mode, a Chibi Dino will gain experience, level up, develop a skill tree, score rare wearable gear, generate brand new Chibi Dinos from eggs, and fight villains in their quest to find pieces of their demolished sacred moon. The eggs, which basically you're going to be able to hatch new dinos. Each dino can produce 2 eggs throughout its career. The lineage is going to affect, so there's going to be like some genetic effect based on the dino's IQ and some of their stats that are going to, or some of their skills, sorry, are going to carry over from the parent. In order to hatch the egg, players will have to pair the dino to it and keep the egg warm, as well as spend swag tokens to hatch their new dino. Okay, so you basically, Chibi Dinos born from eggs will come out with no stamina and will require GULP potions for nourishment. So again, you're gonna have to use those consumable items to be able to give them stamina so they can start playing. A Chibi Dino hatched from an egg starts at level 0 and is immediately given the opportunity to choose their destiny and decide on a skill tree to pursue. So this is another really cool aspect that kind of makes this more of an RPG style of adventure game here. You've got 3 different classes. Essentially, you've got a coach, a player, and an adventurer. And this is kind of how they work. So the coach is more defensive. He's going to be able to block, you know, any of the offensive plays. The player is offensive, so that's why the coach has an advantage over the player. He can kind of shut out the offensive player. The offensive can do all kinds of like dunks and trick shots and stuff and put the ball in the net. Okay, and then the offensive player here has an advantage over the adventurer, which is more ball movement, speed, and control. All right, and then obviously the adventurer has an advantage over the coach. So that's kind of how the circle works there. The adventurers have a really cool feat in that they are able to find rarer loot in the Chibi Adventures mode. So all of these guys have their unique advantages and disadvantages essentially. So you got the coach, which helps defend and shut out offensive players. You've got the players that can, you know, score and put the ball in the net, and then you have your adventurers that can help find rare loot to help enhance your team, and they also work as supporters. Okay, so they're going to help support your offensive and defensive players to set up the plays or to help shut down the other teams. Okay, so it's kind of important to have like a balanced composition here, but you know, maybe some team just goes all players and they're just like a wrecking ball and they just, you know, nonstop score. Maybe a team goes all coaches and they're just a brick wall, no one can score on them. Or maybe you have a whole squad that's just adventurers that's going out and finding your other players' rare loot. That, you know, like there's so many different ways to kind of play this, and that's why it's really cool how there's the RPG element to this. Legendary Chibi Dinos, so once they reach level 10 in the adventure mode, they become a legendary dino. They evolve. This produces an NFT trading card with all of their stats attached to it, and they can't play the standard Primal Hoop mode anymore. They they level up into a legendary league essentially. Another thing is that any gear that was on the dino, once it evolves into the legendary, becomes permanently locked to it, becoming its signature gear. And there's also these other 3 benefits here. So a legendary dino can be used to search Chibi Adventures Mode 2 to get rare gear that's only available to legendary chibis. This gear can be sold. Secondly, as I mentioned, they move on to a legendary chibi league. So this is a separate bracket that has larger prizes, rewards players with rare gear. You can win hoop tokens. So again, the governance token that way, and base chibis. So apparently you can actually win some extra dinos this way. And it says this will be a basketball game that is separate from Primal Hoop but with similar mechanics. And then finally, legendary dinos can be staked to a plot of land called a gym to open up a boot camp. A Chibi Dino boot camp will allow low IQ chibis to train, offering them a permanent boost to their IQ while generating passive income for the boot camp owner. So this is a very, very cool thing here. You can essentially, once you level up your dinos in the adventure mode to level 10, you upgrade them to legendary. You could just stake them in a gym and start earning passive income, running a boot camp, and allowing other dinos to come, low IQ chibis to come and train and you earn fees. Owners of legendary Chibi Dinos and a gym will be able to denominate the fee for their boot camp in either swag or hoop tokens. So you can use the rewards token or the governance token, and only a select number of dinos may occupy a gym at a time. So players are encouraged to price aggressively, purchase additional gyms, and level up multiple legendary dinos to provide training. So this is very cool. You could literally, you know, if you don't like playing the game itself, or, you know, perhaps you don't have the time or whatever that may be, or if you just want to take a different route, you could essentially play this more of like a real estate play and try to own as much like land in these gyms and boot camps as possible, so that other people have to use your gyms, your boot camps, to level up their dinos IQs, to boost their performance, and you can just earn passive income that way. And you could also do a variety of them, right? Like you could have a boot camp with certain dinos. You could be renting out other dinos through the draft. You could be playing your own teams. There's so many different ways to earn from this, both actively and passively. So very, very cool. Now, as we talked about, there is the dual token economy. There's the swag token, which is the rewards and utility token here. So again, we've got naming your Chibi Dino and giving it a biography, hatching your Chibi Dinos, purchasing lower quality gear, the fee for entering lower tier boot camps, and then yield farming opportunities. All right, so with the max supply of 350 million, that is only 1/3 of something like PGX. And so PGX, with its all-time high, it went up to like $1.10 or something like that. So with this launching at 4 cents, which is the public IDO price that it's launching at in just a few weeks here, you know, even if it only goes to $1, you know, there's only 1/3 of the tokens. That would literally be, you know, 1/3 of the sort of price action or price appreciation it would have to see. That's still a 27x from the launch price, right? And now because there's 1/3 of the supply, it could potentially go 3 times that. So you're looking at like a 75x. These are the kind of opportunities that people, you know, always speak about, those like legendary opportunities in, you know, crypto gaming and that. But I will say, this is not financial advice. None of that is guaranteed whatsoever. And I strongly advise against buying right at the beginning of an IDO, because typically you will see all of the private investors and seed round investors and stuff like that taking profits as soon as the IDO starts up. Okay, so there's going to be people and bots usually buying right at the launch of the token. You're going to see this big spike up initially. I don't know why I opened this up, because this doesn't help illustrate it, but you're going to see this big spike up initially, and then it's going to start crashing down right away. So if you're trying to buy right at the beginning, there is going to be a ton of bots that are going to buy and sell before you, and you're going to end up buying way up here, and then the price is going to crash down as the earlier private and seed investors take, you know, a return on their investment. And then usually the token kind of stabilizes at a lower price and starts building back up. So if I am looking to get into an IDO, typically I wait and watch the pump, and then the, you know, the steep dump, and then wait for things to start building back up. That is when I feel confident to buy into the project, if it's something that I'm, you know, I believe in and I plan on holding for a, you know, for a period of time. Because with these governance tokens and things like that, like, it usually doesn't really blow up until the game starts to build a lot of traction and develop, and that is the inherent risk with buying in early on these tokens. Yes, there is the potential for greater rewards, but there is also higher risk in that if the game doesn't gain that traction, it doesn't gain the player base, it doesn't gain the attention that, you know, it hopes to, then the token can fall flat. And then that's where, you know, if you overinvest initially hoping to, you know, strike the jackpot and get this, you know, lottery type of winnings or profits from this, that's where you can kind of get burnt, right? So obviously never invest more than you can afford to lose in any of these projects. This is all highly speculative, higher risk, because these are such low market cap coins, and being at the very beginning before the game is even launched, it may be a better, you know, idea to wait until you see how the game plays out. Like, you have to decide what makes the most sense for you. But I'm just kind of letting you know my thought process and where these sort of potential opportunities lie, right? Greater risk, greater reward, different ways to kind of balance that risk out and assess it for yourself. So take with that what you will. Now let's quickly go over the GULP potions and the gear, and that will kind of cover everything for this. So the GULP potion, like we said, it's a consumable. It is an NFT as well. It's a BEP 721 token, and it says this will be earned by leveling up your team in Primal Hoop or found in the adventure mode, and can be used to replenish depleted stamina of your Chibi Dino. These potions will also be used in both the hatching and training process once adventure mode is released. GULP potions will come in a variety of quality levels with varying numbers of uses and stamina recovery, and have value on the secondary market. So you're going to be able to earn these as additional NFT items that are going to be very useful in game, or like you said, like it said here, for hatching, for replenishing stamina of Chibi Dinos that are playing in the games, and all of that sort of stuff. And there's going to be different like rarities of these essentially, so you're going to be able to like go through the adventure mode, find some of these and be able to resell them on the market if you don't need to use them, or you're going to have better quality potions essentially to be able to replenish your stamina and keep playing at full stamina for longer. And then there is the gear. Okay, so there's gear that give boosts to your Chibi's IQ, stamina, or both. And there's up to 5 pieces of gear that can be equipped at one time. So you've got the head, torso, pants, tail, and accessory. And the primary source of gear will come through exploring the adventure mode, completing quests, and solving in-game puzzles. All Chibi Dinos can find gear, but only legendary dinos of the adventure skill tree will be able to find the rarest high-end gear. Okay, so this kind of gives value to both the legendary Chibis, so the ones that you've gone through the adventure mode and leveled up to level 10 in the adventure mode, as well as those that are following the adventurer skill tree. It's really cool. You can kind of have like, in a sense, these adventurers are like hunters and gatherers, where you can like go level them up in adventure, and you can go find the best gear and either you outfit your team with that, or you can resell that on the market. So it also says a second source of gear will come from artist and athlete collaborations and exclusive gear mints that Chibi Dinos will release throughout the year. These will be limited edition runs with exclusive selective artists or athlete collaborations, and will never be released again or replicated in the game. All gear will be sellable on a secondary market in the Chibi universe. So this is really cool. They're gonna have athlete collabs and artist collabs for exclusive limited edition drops. So if you think of, you know, your favorite like clothing brand or things like that that do these limited merch drops, and they sell out instantly, and then, you know, if people resell those, they typically have a higher value, right? Because you can't get them any other way. These limited gear, you know, NFTs, are going to have the same sort of effect. So it kind of gives you additional opportunities to be able to get in on essentially, you know, initial NFT offerings, to be able to get them these limited edition items at the best price, and then to be able to resell them, kind of flip them that way. So again, another sort of like earning potential there, or just a way to cop some really cool gear for your Chibis and just kind of like deck them out, and you know, maybe that kind of upgrades the significance of your Chibi Dino by having that unique gear as well. So that is Chibi Dinos. Let me know your thoughts. I'm super excited about this. I do have a few Chibi Dinos already. I may be picking up a couple more, and I will be buying some of the Hoop token, but again, that's just what I'm personally doing. You got to decide what makes sense for you. Now, with that being said, let's make this a little bit easier for some of you. If you're wanting to invest, let's draw the 5 winners from the last video and hook you guys up with that 50 USDT giveaway. If you missed it, the last video here, this was already a one. We did another 50 USDT giveaway. That is 2 back-to-back, so you're giving out $100 across the last 2 videos. So make sure you're subscribing and you got those notifications on, so you never miss one of these opportunities for these giveaways, right? All you got to do is watch, comment on the video, and you know, follow these simple steps to be able to win. Okay, so we have the link for the video. We are going to go to the comment picker here and draw the winners. So let's grab the comments here and let's see who is going to be winner number 1. We got B-Dog1324. Let me make a little note of this. Congratulations. Who is going to be winner number 2? That is 10 USDT going to B-Dog. Who else we got? Freddy. Let's go, Freddy. Congratulations here. Next up, who do we got? Who's going to be lucky number 3? CJ, Hello Kitty, let's go. All right, we got two more lucky winners to go here. Who is going to be walking away with some free cash money crypto? Raphael, huge. I'm pretty sure he's won 2 in a row here. Look at that, $20 just for watching a couple YouTubers. It can be that easy here, folks. Who said you can't make money in a bear market? All right, we already picked CJ. Let's get a 5th winner here. Who is it going to be here? Astriel, let's go. Love to see it. Love to see a lot of familiar faces that I see in the comments quite often here. Appreciate all the support from you guys. All right, there we go. We have the 5 lucky winners, and that is Chibi Dinos. All right, so let me know your thoughts. Be sure to smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed, got notifications turned on so you never miss these new hot project drops, as well as our future giveaways. All right, there's lots of stuff we're going to be giving away. NFTs, we're going to be giving away crypto, all this sort of stuff. All you got to do is watch, pay attention, and make sure you don't miss it. All right, so that is all for now. As always, until next time, be sure to train hard, game hard, keep making those life-changing gains, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.